All right, well, something just happened that I figured I might as well report. And so I'm sitting here minding my own business. And I don't know why my care source manager called, but my care source manager called. Now, she pulled off that voodoo where she tricked this other agency into, you know, allowing people to come in here and declaring a place bed bug free when she's not an exterminator. She never looked for bed bugs. I made her sit on a piece of wooden where my TV used to be just to protect her from any possibility of bed bugs. They're like, "Oh, we're free to come in here now because your case manager says we can." So I'm talking to her and I'm like, "Yeah, I got to get some oral surgery." So I was like, "Okay, I don't like the whole idea of it. I got to get like 4 teeth pulled in a row, and two of them are savable." And I explained to her about the whole, whether it's at the root or at the top of the tooth thing. And she said, I actually wrote it down on a piece of paper. And she said I should tell them, or she said it all depends upon the way it's coded, whether you're asking for the procedure under a medical or a dental category. If it's under a medical category, they will cover it. If it's under a dental uh, category, they won't cover it. Okay. And so I wrote down. So I called my dentist, and my dentist, I left a bad message. I should have left the first. And I sat there and I waited and I stressed myself out. And I waited for a few hours for a call back and didn't get no call back. And then my care source manager calls me back and asks me who my oral surgeon is. And I said, I don't know. I have no idea, you know. And then, so after I got off the phone with her, um, I called back my dentist, and I was like, I don't know if I need to confirm my appointment tomorrow or not, but I already asked to talk to the dentist, uh, and he's like, well, I can see if she has a moment now, and I said, well, tell her it's about my insurance, is what I should have said in the first place, because dentistry again is all about this. Like, oh, it's about your insurance. That's about us getting paid. So magically, within 10 minutes, I'm talking to her. And I wrote down what I wanted to say so I wouldn't screw it up. I said, I spoke to my care source manager, and she said there's a way care source may cover the 2 teeth you thought might be worth saving. And she stopped me right there and she said, let me guess. They said that if they placed it under a medical category, that it would get approved. And then I said, well, the exact wording she said was, it all depends on the way it's coded, whether medical or dental. And then she was like, look, they put patients through this all the time. It's like, it's never approved. And she's like irritated. And she said, I don't like it because it gets patients angry, and it gives them false hope. And it's like, and I said, so you're telling me there's like a 0% chance of approval? And she said, yeah, they're just, it's not going to get approved, which is the opposite of the place that I wanted to throw a Molotov cocktail through, Immediate, which kept sending in a request for me to get $1,000 plus deep cleaning that I didn't need, by the way, 3 times, just trying to get that money. You know, she was like, it's not going to happen, like right off the bat. So, points for her. But I just took a blood pressure pill because, like, that put me through a whole bunch of extra unnecessary stress of, making calls and waiting and then giving false hope and then having my hope dashed. I still can't wrap my head around getting all 4 teeth pulled at once like that. And asked, I was like, is that an in-house guy, or is he on staff or what? The oral surgeon. He goes, no, he's just gonna be happen to be there that day. And I'm like, so I should take advantage of this opportunity and get this taken care of. And she goes, absolutely, because it can take like 2 months to get an an oral surgeon appointment when you're on poor people insurance, and which I've already gone through before. And say I got a tooth that's blown up that they don't want to mess with, like that place there, like it's that same place. I almost said their name. Their name doesn't matter. Um, I had that necrotic tooth, and it took me forever to, because at first they were going to pull it, then they're not going to pull it, right? They're well, we can do a root canal or we can pull it, and then they made me wait 3 days, and I came back in there 3 days later, and she's like, I'm not touching it. It's got a curved root. I don't know what she was moody or whatever, but I was like, yeah, that's not what you told me like 3 days ago. Thinking to myself, realizing that starting arguments just it doesn't pay off. Logic doesn't pay off. I have enough experience to calling people on what they said, not going to pay off. So, that's a complete wasted trip. And she says, I'm going to set you up with some names for oral surgeons. Okay, so I wait a while and I go to one oral surgeon. He has 2 offices in Cleveland. I believe I told that story. And they sent me to the wrong office. And it was clear on the other side of town. And we went through like the kind of neighborhoods that have actual toilets sitting in the yard. Like most people have like cars on blocks, or like there was an actual toilet sitting in somebody's yard, just thrown in the yard. And, we're driving real slow. And my brother in law was like, yeah, this is why I have a concealed carry permit, and I wish I had my gun right now. Because there was just people everywhere, and it was like dusk. It was like, it was weird. It was a 7:30 at night appointment, and it was like getting dark out. It was dusk, and I'm like, we somehow missed the place. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go home. And so I was able to schedule another oral surgeon appointment that took me. First, I had to go into a consultation, and at the consultation, I caught my first taste of the real flu, not the things that people call flu, but the real flu type B, when I went in for a consultation. And then I don't know how many weeks it was later, I went in and I had the actual tooth pulled, and it came out like butter. I mean, they could have done it months ago. And I'll call them BND, in the BND place that I'm going to go tomorrow. They could have just done it. It come out easier than any other tooth ever came out. It like jumped out of my head. Couldn't have been easier. And she's worried about having a curved root, and all this stuff. And she's like, I'm not touching it. But anyways, I'm talking to this lady, and I'm like, why would I be angry at you? It's like, because like people get angry, and it's like, she says, I don't like it because it gives people false hopes that that they can get that classified as a medical thing when it's a tooth. And I'm a dentist. So that was just a waste of like 4 hours of my freaking life. And did not help my stress level. I took a blood pressure pill to get that heart rate down. And yeah, I woke up this morning like, yeah, this is really gonna happen type, where you wake up and you're like, how when you wake up, you have to reacquaint yourself with who you are, your life, your whole situation. I have to reacquaint myself with a nightmare every morning. So I'm like, okay, Um, that's every morning. This is a nightmare with Sunday cherry on top of having this four teeth pulled thing. So I'm freaking out in the morning. You know, it's like I get my coffee and take a Valium and a blood pressure pill, and I got some real like fear going on. And by the way, the three uh, uh, Valium that I took the night before, they took a while, but they knocked me out, and I slept until like 8 o'clock in the morning. But I was they took so long to work. They took like an hour and a half, and it was like an hour and a half before I got sleepy. That was weird. But once I got sleepy, I like watched a brief review of Joker, the movie, and clicked it off, and then boom, out like a light. Yeah, this just happened, and I got 20, 22 hours before I'm going to be in a chair, and I don't know what's going to happen, and I have the money to plunk down to try to save these two teeth, and but oral surgeons, it's like man, just get them out of your head. It's so hard to get an oral surgeon when you're poor. It's like, just, you got an oral surgeon lined up, just get them out of your head. It's like, just, you're gonna just deal with the toothlessness. I mean, I do have like a partial plate that can fit up here, and it gives me a chewing space. It gives me a space I can chew. And as far as the lower plate, it's very uncomfortable. I think that's where this tooth is going to have to be pulled. That's used as an anchor for it anyway. You know, when I was very surprised when she was like, that tooth, that doesn't make any sense, come to think of it, because that was like down near the root, and she put that cap on it and let the insurance pay for it. And, it's gonna have to come out. It's giving me warning signs already. But, if I can just have like one chewing space in there and enough teeth in my head to where I don't have that thing where where I have teeth that'll fit together. Because, like I said, I'm going to be missing 14 teeth. So, um, yeah. But yeah, that is the last fucking thing I needed, was that whole rigmarole that just took up 4 hours of my day, because I got nothing done. I did eat a meal, but I got nothing done. I'm not sure what I have to do until tomorrow. A lot of people, they don't give a damn. They'll go into a dentist, scuzzy, and they don't care. I have very limited leg, and my leg don't work all that good, and I have very limited energy, and I gotta make sure I have a clean pair of clothes, and I'll probably shave tonight, and then maybe wait till tomorrow to get a shower. My appointment's not till 1:50, and try to deal with the terror, because I mean, I'm terrified. I've never had anything like that before, and I mean, you know, it's your mouth. I mean, that's an intimate area. That's a vulnerable area. That's why certain types of people are like my dad, like my brother, and pull their own teeth, and my friend in Florida doesn't go to the dentist for 30 odd years. It's because of intimacy and vulnerability and all that. it's because of issues. And I can't. And the weird part is I know that my foster brother has dental insurance, and he still doesn't go to the dentist. And he'll be suffering. Several times I've seen him suffering like with horrible toothaches and stuff, and it's like, you have dental insurance. And I don't know how much it covers, or if it maybe it doesn't cover it completely, and he likes his money that much that he'd rather just suffer like that. I don't know, not me. I can't handle it. But this is not a marathon video. This is just like an update of a stupid thing that happened. And yeah, yeah, I don't know. I was using my phone. I don't even know if I was using it right, because this Obama phone, if you hold it too close to your face, you get echo. Maybe that's why she was irritated, or it's like we had a bad connection or something like that. But I think she was just irritated because she's heard this song and dance a billion times. She was like, "Oh, let me guess. They told you that if you put it under a medical heading, that it could get covered if it was written up that way." She said, "I can write it up that way if you want me to, but it's just going to get not denied." And I'm like, "You're telling me like there's 0% chance?" And she said, "Yeah." It's like it always gets negated. So I have to go wrap. You know, I don't want to. Oh yeah, that's why my case manager called and she gave me a couple leads. She says, "Are you still looking for a place to stay?" And one of them was the embassy. And somebody told me, don't, or like the people in Coleman said, don't go to the embassy. It's loaded with bed bugs, you know. And then like she named off this other place, and she said, I don't have a number for them, but she named off this other place that's actually in my old stomping grounds. It's like about a mile away from my brother's house. I don't know what it'll cost. There's waiting lists to consider. You got to get put on a waiting list sometimes, which I might have to be put on a waiting list anyway to save up the money. But, you know, if I only had a crystal ball and can see into the future, I'd pay not to get 4 teeth ripped out all at once. I'd pay the 2,000 because I could do it. I could come up. I could work it out, and I wouldn't even have to borrow that much money. Um, but if it's just going to be a waste of money, and I'm going to have an opportunity to get out of here quicker if I have that money on hand. You know, and I got that window where I got access to an oral surgeon. You take advantage of it, man. Hey, cut this one out too. You see any other ones you want to cut out? Man, how about this motherfucker over here? Cut this one out here out too. You know? But if I'm on a waiting list, that would be a different story then, because then I could put the money out to make me feel better and only get the 2 teeth pulled, and waste the money possibly, and I'd be on a waiting list anyway, and maybe like a 5 month waiting list. In 5 months I'll have plenty of money. In 3 months I could probably do 3 months. you know I could have enough money, and I'm good enough friends with a couple of people where I could borrow a couple of people that have money, that I could borrow money off of them to if I needed like first and last month's rent or whatever to go somewhere. So I don't know how, you don't know how this stuff is going to play out in life. You can't see you can't see where all these different roads might lead, or all these decisions that you take might go. So um it's yeah. You, 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 and you. Bye bye. As of tomorrow. And yeah, I think I'm gonna stay off of here and stop bothering y'all for a while. And you know, just deal with just deal with the nervousness and the terror and the anxiety. Um, myself, I mean, I don't really have. That's why I'm on here, of course, is I don't have a lot of people in real life that I can talk to, besides anybody who cares to listen, and a few people that are regular listeners, and myself. I can at least hear myself talking and not be in a room by myself trying to talk this stuff out myself. This way I can at least think that I'm talking to another person. you know, you know what I mean? But yeah, I don't, I don't know, man. That is what a lot of people are plagued with that. I know I'm dragging this on longer than it needs to be, but a lot of people are plagued with that, and I hate getting in front of those people. I used to. When I was more mobile in the grocery store, like, should I buy this bag of grapes or should I buy this bag of grapes? Is this a better deal? Will I save 10 cents on this? But is it worth the 10 cents? There's people that have that decision making thing where they just can't make a fucking decision. It's like, it's got to be a horrible, torturous thing. With me, I only save that for the big decisions like this, where I'm like, I don't know what is the proper way to go with this. I know one thing, and that it is very hard as a poor person to get an oral surgeon's appointment, and I have one tomorrow, so I need to get in there tomorrow and get these painful motherfuckers out of here. These are the two that are supposed to be savable in front. These two on the side are the ones that are not savable. So, hopefully, the person's name, I'll give their name since I don't know how to spell it anyway, is Dr. Artachi. So, I hope Artachi is a hot shotty, and I hope he's really good at what he do. And I hope everything goes smooth, and there's no broken tooth, and there's no like, broke the root off in there, and there's no like, God, eef. I just don't like the odds of 4 teeth getting pulled and nothing going wrong, you know. And yeah, so I saved my, like, is this the right decision? Should I was thinking, that's what got my hopes up on this stupid paper, is I was thinking, man, I can deal with getting the two pulled, because that cuts the odds of something going catastrophically wrong in half, you know. These tooth look all cracked and broken, and they look like they can take them out in pieces and stuff. Sometimes I think they did that with my wisdom teeth. I could feel them breaking them. But hey, man, sometimes you just have to sack up, do what you gotta do, and I don't think I could, you know. It's right now. I'm gonna say something sacrilegious, and it's like right now. Thank God for benzos, because this is what they are made for. They're not made for getting people hooked on them and making them miserable and not giving them proper information about and telling them to take them every night as a sleeping pill and all this bullshit. they're made for situations like this, where like like where I would be. Oh man, I don't know if I could force myself into that chair. I would be in such mortal terror. Uh, but tomorrow I'll be bombed, and I'll still be terrified, but I'll be in the chair, get her taken care of, and yeah, I don't know when you'll see me next, but definitely need to stay off here for a while. Anyways, if you believe in a God that answers prayers, whenever anybody says I'll pray for you, I always just say thank you. I don't think, from my personal philosophy, what's going to happen is what's going to happen. You know, I'm not a praying man. I'm a believer, but I'm not a praying man. But if you want to pray for me, thank you. And I'll see you somewhere down the road. And hopefully, won't be looking like this. See you then.